many days to the end of year 2022? That's just about 23 days or thereabout. And they will be saying, welcome 2023. And of course, that is the big year of the general elections. Well, before we go to the general elections, I'll tell you my name is Ayode Jajishokwe presenting. And producing me is Favor Olorutola. Political Update is the show. Before we go to the main meat of today's program, which is a conversation with a senatorial candidate of one of the leading parties in Oyo State. Let us take political roundup. We'll be back shortly.
This is the roundup. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Irabo, has disclosed that the security agencies and the military constantly come under pressure to compromise during elections through various financial inducements, but has called on Nigerians to anchor their trust in the military as they strive to maintain neutrality in accordance with the President's directive. Speaking during the ministerial weekly briefing today, the Chief of Defense Staff, who provided updates of strides made by the military in the fight against insurgency, terrorism and banditry, stated that personnel are being trained to follow the codified rules of engagement before, during and after elections. One of the leading political parties in the forthcoming 2023 elections, Labour Party, has affirmed that going forward it will not allow politicians without the ideology of the party run for political offices under its umbrella. Recall that governorship aspirants of the party at the Osun State governorship polls, Yusuf Lasun, decamped to the ruling People's Democratic Party (PDP) during the presidential campaign event on Tuesday evening. Deputy National Chairman Labour Party Ayo Olorunfemi, while reacting to how many politicians used the platform after being dumped by their parties this morning, noted that henceforth it will no longer be business as usual.
Don't forget the Osun governorship election took place before the full reconciliation of the various factions within the Labour Party. And so people before now, come in, use the political party when they were dumped in one way or the other from their political party. But right now, the situation is not as it used to be. Before you can be allowed into the party to contest in any election, we must have certified that we belong to our ideological group, not the socialist, not the capitalist, but of course we are much more interested in productivity, reward system, and good environment for prosperity to occur. So when you are mentioning someone like Lasun, who has gone back to PDP, we cannot be surprised because we also took his candidacy with a pinch of salt, and you saw the outcome of the election.
Mr. Olorunfemi added that the party's presidential candidate Peter Obi will not disappoint Nigerians should he emerge winner of the 2023 presidential polls. A member of the All Progressives Congress APC Niger East, Senator Sani Musa, says he has never intended defection to any political party in spite of misinformation in some quarters. Senator Musa made this known in a statement issued in Minna today that media reports claiming that he had defected to the People's Democratic Party (PDP) were mischievous. Meanwhile, in Rivers State, report says suspected political thugs in the early hours of today invaded the residence of the State People's Democratic Party's Presidential Campaign Council member, Senator Lee Maeba, in the GRA Phase 3 axis. According to report, the hoodlums came from a nearby street, shot sporadically at his entrance, and eventually broke into the former senator's compound, destroying about 5 cars, including an SUV, while 3 persons in the compound, including Senator Maeba's relative, scampered for safety. The Rivers State government has issued a stern warning to a group of persons who it says are orchestrating a campaign of calumny against the state governor Nyesom Wike. The State Commissioner for Information and Communications, Chris Finebone, who briefed journalists in Port Harcourt after the State Executive Council meeting last night, said the person seemed to be uncomfortable with the role of Governor Wike in the demand by the G5 governors of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) for fairness, equity, and justice in the party. That's the news roundup.
Radio is all about information, education, and entertainment.
Maybe that's before now. Solutions 93.9 FM has raised the standard of radio broadcast to preferring solutions in all human angle. 939 FM, the remedy.
Thank you so much for staying with us. That was the political roundup. Well, across the land, across this union, the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I found one quite interesting. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Loki Rabo, while briefing media men in the State House, he said even security agents come under pressure from the political actors during elections. Well, and they face inducement. Of course, we're going to be talking about that later. Well, let's get into the conversation part of the program. Today on Political Update, I have a gentleman. He's smiling at me from the other end of it. He's, I will call him, I love to call him a new breed. A new breed that is emerging for the new order that we all hope to emerge for this country. He is a senatorial candidate of his party for the Southern Senatorial District of Oyo State in the forthcoming general elections on February 25, 2023. He is Honorable Lukman Adeola Adetunji. I welcome you to our studio this afternoon.
Thank you very much for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you, sir.
Well, I would not be telling your story. A man's story is better told by himself. So, tell us your story. How did you arrive at this location? Politics. You just don't look like one.
Thank you very much. Well, it's unfortunate that we actually find ourselves in this position in this country. But you see, I've had a lot of friends, I belong to a lot of groups, and most of the time what I hear all the time is we keep on complaining.
Complaining and doing nothing.
And doing nothing about it. And I keep on asking them, look, what can we do? Let us find someone. Let's support someone. We need a change of mentality and mindset in our politics. But when I found out that, look, I keep on talking, there is no solution. So I decided, all right, I think the best thing to do, that it was then in 2015, was, look, let me put my neck in the race, join a political party, and see how it goes. At the end of the day, what we all want is someone who can deliver better for our people. But if we keep on moving back and nobody ventures into it, we'll keep on complaining till kingdom come.
And nothing changes.
And nothing changes.
It even gets worse.
It is very worse right now, sir. Really worse.
Wow.
Really
Tell
worse.
us, who is Lukman Adeola Adetunji?
Well, as you have said, Lukman Adetunji is a young, smiling man. I was born in Ibadan, bred in Ibadan. I went to all my schools in Ibadan, Mary Hill Convent College, Obakienle Memorial. I went to Government College Ibadan, and I went to University of Ibadan.
That's good breeding. Mary Hill.
Yes, please.
Solid foundation.
And for most of my life, I've been around in Ibadan. I did a bit of traveling, where I did a bit of understudying of so many things, which also gingered me about our issues in Nigeria. And to be honest, that is one of the facts why I felt that, look, I also have to get involved. Because I see that, look, if these people are the people that handed politics into us, they are the people that gave us independence, why is it that they are doing better and we are lacking behind? And I think that that's a lot of questions for the consciences of all our politicians today. Why are we lacking behind? What can't we deliver for our people? Everything is there. We are all blessed. We're a blessed nation. we have all the natural resources, we have even the human resources. So what is our problem? Why can't we create environmentally and human friendly policies and stick by it? Why is it that we're having issues every day? And it's all about leadership. It's as simple as that.
Leadership. Where did you start your political journey?
Well, I started in
When and where?
2015, and I started with the ruling party APC, All Progressive Congress.
Okay. Here in Oyo State?
Yes, in Oyo State, under the leadership of our late Senator
governor.
Ajimobi. Yes, may his soul rest in perfect peace.
Amen.
But then on coming, I think I took it so high. Well, not so high, but I felt that, look, I'm also qualified.
Oh, certainly.
Yes, because I came then and said that, look, I want to be the governor in 2019.
Okay.
And, you know, Ajimobi looked at me and felt, you know, from where to where. But I proved I did prove myself, because I can actually say categorically today that in 2018, most of the policies that our late governor introduced then were things that I wrote in my plan. And I'm proud to say that. Yes, it has not, you know, it has not manifested the way it should have. And why I believe so was that, look, you cannot do something better than the person that owns
Oh,
the
yo,
ground.
the visioner.
Absolutely.
The visioner. I mean, you are
Thank
just
you.
borrowing.
Thank you.
know, I mean, you can't see it better.
You know, and then just shortly after the general election, I left for, I actually took a break behind.
Okay.
And then in December, I ended up to go into the African Democratic Congress.
Okay.
And why I left was that, look, I just saw that there is totally no internal democracy in APC. Everything is by selection. And I felt that it is not right, because you are not giving people like us who have a lot to offer the chance to be there to serve our people. So I moved into African Democratic Congress then in December
2019.
December 2019.
Just shortly after
Correct.
The same year.
Yes, the elections, yes. And I was happy to do that, because I can say that I have not regretted it one bit. I see quite a lot of difference, you know, between the two parties. Every party has their issues, don't
Yeah,
get me wrong.
certainly,
But I
certainly.
think that I'm more comfortable right now with ADC, and that is why I believe that I'm a flag bearer right now for the senatorial seat. If I were still in APC, I wouldn't have that chance. We also saw what has happened within the last primaries that they did.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm happy I'm not caught up in that.
That's why we have a lot of them in Accord Party now.
Yes, Accord Party now is the party of the disgruntled APC members. Unfortunately, because they've all moved en masse and they've taken, you know, stands for the race over there. And I feel that,
like they are the NPDP, is this the NAPC?
you see, at the end of the day, the way I see it, PDP and APC are the same. And now, unfortunately, Accord is also finding themselves in the same boat.
Now, you have touched on something that is germane. Our political parties. There's no difference between APC, there's no difference between APC, PDP, and Accord at the state level. There's no difference between, there seems to be no difference, no ideological difference. I actually spoke with the gubernatorial candidate of the Accord Party, this same location where you were sitting. And I said, what is the problem with our political parties? People are just moving, crossing from one party to the other, and without batting an eyelid. And people are just carrying on like no big deal. He said, well, the problem now is that we are struggling with the basics. We are struggling with too many basics not to talk about, okay, I will do this. It's all about, I will do this, I will do that. No ideological differences. That we are, you know, like the state of nature, in which the first thing is survivor. So you cannot be thinking of, okay, how are you doing the survivor? You know, are you using a gun? Are you using a bow? Are you using an arrow? It is just survivor. Just survive.
To be honest, I think that I will disagree with that.
Okay.
Our problem is the system. You see, the system has not given us a chance to be able to exhibit ourselves. And then you see, the system happens to be rotten in such a way that, let us use him as an example. I was reading the newspaper when the prominent candidate Ajadi, you know, former one, Said Ajadi, said that, how can someone have a primaries within the last few days and now just come to Accord and say he's the gubernatorial candidate? That is the system. Our system is not up to par. You see, when you are crossing, You are crossing into a political party, another one, to go and toe the line of other people that are there and their ideology.
Not you coming
And
with their own.
With your own ideology, your own party system, and now saying you are just taking over a party and you're a candidate. You know, it's you. I mean, to me, I see it as it is the system that is broken. There should be laws. There should be policies. Then even we ourselves, we should have a little bit of decorum and etiquette. I left for ADC in 2020 December, and I stuck with it. If I hadn't been given an opportunity in ADC right now, I won't go anywhere else, because we have ideas, you know, that have been indoctrinated into. ADC has something called ADC DNA. You know, if you read about it, and that is what I stand for. So because I did not get a seat now, I did not get a position now, I now want to cross or jump ships, I think is wrong. What I'll jump ship for is an ideology, which is what I did then. I decided that, look, you guys don't have internal democracy. And because of that, I cannot stay with you. That is different from you did not give me a position, and so I am leaving. They are two different things.
They are two different.
So I believe that it is our system that is broken, that has allowed that. And I believe that also morally, we can see a lot of moral decadence going on. To me, I would have that conscience and say, look, let me toe the line. My time will come at a certain point. But then what can you do? What can you do to assist the party the way you met them? How can you support the candidates that you have met? How can you support the people that you met there? I think that that is what we should be discussing. Not a matter of survival. No. We've come to this earth with nothing, and we shall take nothing at the end of the day. And I do believe that, look, we should always be happy to, you know, to stay in whatever position we think that we find ourselves at the moment, and strive hard to improve on it tomorrow. That is how I see it.
Now, this coming elections,
Yes.
no doubt, the political terrain has been monetized. I don't see you having millions of dollars running for. And to call your attention to it, and I've said it repeatedly, the Southern Senatorial District, without being, you know, rude to other districts, is since 1999 been the most sophisticated senatorial district in Oyo State.
That is because Ibadan is involved. Ibadan is a very sophisticated city.
So, and you know, it has been the burial ground of political giants.
Correct.
That was where the former governor lost his election. Yes. That's why the former governor lost his election, in spite of the fact that, you know, the presidential election and the National Assembly elections took place on the same day.
Correct.
He lost, a sitting governor lost in that same location.
Correct.
You don't seem to have the millions of dollars to run this election. How do you intend to go about it?
Well, to be honest, I am a different breed. As you said I'm a new breed. I don't believe that everything is money or power at the end of the day. You see, I'm a very good Muslim, and I believe so much in the Almighty. And I believe that, look, no matter what has been destined for someone, you will achieve it. Just work towards it. And I personally, I just think that, look, I have a lot to offer. I have a lot to offer my people. And I'm praying that if I get there, I will deliver for my people, even more than to my own expectations. So I believe that it is not money. I've got the brain, I've got the ideas, I've got the vision, I've got the innovation. All what I need is just sell to my people. And as you have just said, you just gave me another conviction, which is that the sitting governor failed to win that seat. Will the sitting governor not have enough money? Does he not have the power? The power of incumbency was there. Did he win it? No, he did not. Instead, it went to a PDP candidate.
Dr. Kola Balogun.
Yes. You know, so I think that everything at the end of the day, it is how it has been destined. But just take your shot, try your best, and see how it goes. And at the main time, I see that, look, this is a race. It is not how big, how fat, how tall, how thin, or how slim that you are. You know, it's just, you know, everybody pick the baton and run. And that is exactly what I'm doing. And I believe that with the special grace of God, with a lot of support that I've been having here and there, I believe we can do this, and we will do this.
Now, still talking about the elections and then the enabling laws. What are your perceptions about the enabling laws and the introduction of technology by INEC? Or how would that affect these elections, and what difference will it make to the other elections that we have? compared
To be honest, I think that INEC is moving with time, and that is very, very important. What we have done now is just a tip of the iceberg. In some other developed countries, you vote from your house. Either you go onto the internet or you send a letter.
Vote by mail.
They vote by mail. So
Even days before the election.
correct. So we are still lacking behind, but it is a good innovation, and I think that we can improve of that as time goes on. Now, I see something happening here. We might have a lot of votes that will be disregarded, the way I'm looking at it, because of the introduction of technology. It's
Okay.
natural. We've not practiced it. We've not had time to take a practice on it. So we will have all the hiccups now, and then we'll be able to improve going in 2027. But I think that honestly is a fantastic innovation. We should be able to make things easier for us as a system in this country. And technology is the best way to go. So I'm very happy, and I'm happy to embrace it, no matter what, the Beaver system. I'm happy. And I think going forward, they'll do better. At least what I want to see is me sit down in my house in 2027 and cast my vote without going to the polling unit. Make it convenient for me, and let my vote count.
Yeah, and let my vote count. Absolutely important. Vote buying has become a hydra-headed monster. We saw it in Oshun. We saw it in Ekiti. The one in Ekiti really, really baffled me. In Ekiti, I saw video clips. It was the voters that were asking around, where are the people that will buy our votes, pay for it? And that is the state with the call sign of the fountain of knowledge. And it is those people that are saying, where are the people that will pay for our votes? This vote buying, what do you see it doing to the electoral processes in 2023?
Well, vote buying is electoral fraud. There is no other word to that. And I believe that, you see, we need a change of mindset and mentality. Why has vote buying occurred? It is the system. The system has impoverished us so much that at the end of the day, you don't see any reason why you sell your vote for 5,000 naira. But I believe that, look, even if the system has not, helped us in this, then we need to help ourselves. Voter sensitization is necessary and very essential, not only by the system, maybe via National Orientation Agency, but also ourselves. Let us encourage each other. Enough is enough of 5,000 naira for another 4 years. Let us stop it. It makes no sense to me. At the end of the day, you keep on electing people that are not up to par. People that will definitely continue with this corruption. People that will impoverish you the more. And you see, that's one thing that I've seen now, that I think that I'm supporting this new CBN policy.
There is the designing.
Thank you.
And the limitation.
Thank you. Because I can see this coming, that by 2023 elections, no single candidate will have money to offer for the voters, because the money is just not there. If I have 1 billion right now in my house, I cannot convert it to the new currency before election in February. So that is already dead money. Another thing is that even if I convert it, I cannot be taking it out because it is in the bank. That is dead money. Even if I have it in the bank, how much can I afford to withdraw? By the time I start transferring or doing the wire electronic that they're saying that APC was planning to, they will trace it.
Yeah,
and once
that's
they see
trackable.
it, you are liable. So what I see now is that, look, everybody is going to vote according to their conscience in 2023. And may it be so. Because I believe that if that happens, then all the money bags can be kicked off by the side. Let us have fresh air, fresh breath, fresh people, fresh ideas, and fresh party system. And I believe that will happen.
Fresh party system.
Correct.
Okay. Will that be a consequence? will emergence of fresh new parties, will it be a consequence of 2023 elections if money becomes, inoperative, as it were?
Correct. It will definitely be, because a lot of people will come down to their senses. And you see, at the end of the day, the way I see it, that if a kingdom does not fall, another kingdom does not rise.
Yes,
it's
empires
just a natural
must rise
order.
and fall
Exactly.
to other empires to rise again.
And you see, most of us now, we are all aware of what is going on. We know that our problem is leadership. It is not resources. We have all the resources. I was just listening to one of the presidential candidates, Mustafa, telling us that right now, Northeast is the richest region in Nigeria. They just discovered oil. Gold is there. So many stones are there. So that means we are rich as a nation. What we don't have are leaders with the vision and the innovation to move us forward. And that is why people like me are coming out to say, look, do your best. Enough is enough. Put we guys that can do and offer us ourselves, our services, and deliver our people. Put us in the spot, and let's see what we'll do within 12 months.
Just about a week and a half ago, I was in conversation with a deeply profound intellectual, a leader in the broadcast industry, Dr. Yemi Farumbi. And we were talking about accountability in governance. And he said accountability entails those accountability in governance. He said accountability in governance entails those who vote the leaders into office to make demands of them. And he says these people that elected the leaders, on what basis did they elect them? Was it on the basis of a platform? I will do this. This is not just I will do this. This is how I will do this. If there is no platform under which they were elected, not just political party platform, this is what I will do. I will do this in 1 year. I will do this in 2 years. He says, so how then can they go back to them and start making, okay, you have done this, you have not done this. He says, so he said it now comes down to the fact that, do people really want good governance? Do they even know what good governance entails? I was shocked about that. Do people really desire good governance?
No, he's fantastically right. Which is where I mentioned that the National Orientation Agency, they have a lot on hand to do. I remember Buhari Idiagbon regime then, during the days of war against indiscipline. It was everywhere. Everybody knew about why. You know, you can't just go anywhere and say you want to urinate. You can't stay on a bus stop and say you just without queuing. You can't cross the express road. Everybody stood up. Most of all these big politicians were going from one jail to the other, even dying in jail.
Yeah.
People stood up. We started having what we called our morals back. So I think that, you see, one, the system has failed in that. Then two, we ourselves, we have failed in that because we have refused to educate ourselves on our politics and what we want going forward. First of all, we've been disappointed by political parties because for the last 2 decades now we've been dominated by the two-party system. And these two parties, what are their values? Absolutely zero. You see, I will tell you an example now. Jonathan's regime, we were all here. APC sold themselves into us for the fact that, look, all what Jonathan is doing, let's take it at maybe 10%. We are going to make, we are going to enforce at least something that will create 100% social life for you. This never happened. During Jonathan's regime, how much were we buying dollars? Look at it now. So right now we can say that this political system has failed us. Look at security. Look at all our aspects. But have we been able to hold them accountable? Look at what people are doing now. They are packing their presidential candidate, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He's a Yoruba man, but I'm not an ethnic or tribal person. I believe in who will deliver the right thing for us. Yeah. And I don't see this guy as a fantastic candidate for us. Why? Because you sold the party for us for 7 years and they destroyed everything. Why within that 7 years do not come to say, these are their problems, this is how we want to fix it? Why is it now that they will go, you want to fix it? So I see it as part of our system. You know, so I think that we need to do more and we ourselves need to educate ourselves better. Let us forget ethnicity. Let us forget religion. You know, what we want is development, and let us move away like that. They did it in the days of Western region, and we lived, you know, very happily ever after. Regions we are developing.
Yes.
And we can still do it. Let's just love each other, forget ethnic, forget religion, and let's do the right thing for our people. And believe that, yes, we can do it.
Yes, now, you are going into the National Assembly as a member of the Red Chamber. And I would like to ask, what will be your priorities, you know, like a legislative agenda? What will be paramount on your mind as a senator of the Federal Republic representing Oyo South Senatorial District?
Now, what I plan to do, and I'm going to do, is look at every sector, starting from security to agriculture, to healthcare, to education, to transportation, to housing. You know, look at all these things. Assess what is going on in my community. Everybody knows we have all these issues. Now, how do we have streamlined policies that will encourage development and let our people have a better life and better living? In security, I don't see why we don't employ an average of maybe about 500 to 1,000 people in each local government. Amotekun is there. They are so understaffed and they are so under-equipped. Let us staff them and equip them. Another thing is that, can we have drones, their equipment, you know, so security will move better. Let us look at agriculture. Can't we grow onions? Can't we grow tomatoes? Why should we be waiting for a truck to come from the north? We can do better. Under my own senatorial district, what I plan is Ibarakpa and Ido. You can see all the land mass there. Why can't every single available land be used to plant something? And then we create a big value chain for agriculture where everybody has jobs. You know, if we look at healthcare, healthcare is very poor. We used to have universal healthcare in those days. How can we bring policies back whereby we can have lovely hospitals? We can move people quickly for treatment. You know, we can have people come in as soon as possible for operations. And at the end of the day, no single doctor in Oyo South is going to ask for pay your money first. That has to stop, because health is very important to everybody, and that is why a lot of people die on hospital beds, which is very wrong. So we need policies like that. If we look at transportation, how do we make transportation better? I just saw few last week actually. The Iyaganku Aleshiloye axis is always it's always a stumbling block for everybody. But lately, what was the problem there? All what you need to do is expand the right side, make it 3 lanes there. The railway, make sure you put tie in it such that people can go over it easily. The pothole by the petrol station, block it. And then the drainage system. Do you know the funniest thing? This was just being done last week.
And then a smooth flow.
And then a smooth flow. So,
a critical junction like that.
In fact, I started clapping because I felt, well, this is the right thing to do. But then I felt ashamed of myself. Why should it have taken 3 years or more? So that's transportation. So we can go to so many things. Energy is what I'm really interested in.
Oh, tell us, please.
Because you see, energy is a problem in our country. For over 20 years now, we've spent billions of dollars. But we don't have respite. I spent a lot on petrol and diesel, which it eats into my pocket. I'm happy to have electricity 24 hours. Now there's a solution to that. How can we do that? We have solar energy. It is God-given light. Let us create companies along Ido axis in Ibarakwa where they have the land. Let we employ people and start producing solar panels. Solar panels, the main ingredient that we are using is something called laterite. Laterite is one of the most abundant most abundant mineral in our soil, in our country. So we can start using this laterite to produce solar panels. From these solar panels, we have what is called hubs. Let us have maybe about 50,000 solar panels in this area. Put it in a hub. The hub will generate it's like a transformer.
Yeah.
There's even something called the storage battery for it now.
Yeah.
So it stores the energy. Let us talk to Ibadan Distribution Network.
Yeah.
When we distribute through your network, how much is it going to cost us? Let us share profit. It's done in other places of the world. Another example I can give you that is fantastic, and I remember that I spoke about in one program last week, is what is called biogas. Look, if you go from Idiarere, Bere, all that, you see all the middle of the road stuck with dirt, horrible smelling dirt. These things can be converted to biogas. Every house in our state can have a living biogas from their soak away, and they can be using that to cook. The cost of gas now is bloody expensive. I just filled my own yesterday for 9,000 naira.
Nothing ever gets cheaper here.
Nothing goes up and never come down.
We go on the short break. Solutions 93.9 FM, the station, and of course, political update this Thursday afternoon. In the studio with me, Mr. Lukman Adiola Adituji, the Southern Senatorial District candidate of the ADC. Yes, it is not over yet. Do stay tuned. I'll be back shortly.
School baba, school baby. The mama just to tip up on my day. Oh, mama, yeah, my cry. I'm begging Jaja for your righteousness. Come take over the earth. Come do everything in this world. Are you ready? Oh.
Yes, thank you so much for staying with us. Yes, Solutions 93.9 FM is the station, and of course, Political Update is the show. Well, this is what I call the home run. It is the home stretch of the program this afternoon. I have with me in the studio, I've been in conversation with him for the past 40 minutes or thereabout, and we'll be talking about not just his upcoming election, but Nigeria, this union, the Federal Republic of Nigeria. With me in the studio, Mr. Lukman Adiola Adetuji, the ADC senatorial candidate for the Southern Senatorial District of Oyo State. Yes, I generally don't like calling people above 40 youth, people say a young man. Anyone 30 is not even a young man anymore. Because we have seen 30-year-olds who have excelled globally. So you say the young man. I don't like using that. But you see, in our population today in Nigeria, 200 million plus we have what I call the critical mass. 63% of our population is youthful.
Correct.
How will you describe the import of that in your political journey, and even putting it in the Nigerian perspective? What does that population mean for Nigeria?
You see,
of youth?
that population means resources. It means resources. What is going on right now, there's something called the Japa regime. I believe you've heard about it.
Oh, yes.
And you see, I look at this. I've done that too before, in the 1990s. But you see, I look at it.
That was the second wave.
Yes. But you see, why are these people migrating? They are only migrating for one purpose. They want a better life. What is a better
economic reasons.
Economic reasons. What is it? That means that they want a job, they want to have money in their pocket, and they want to live a decent life. It's as simple as that. Now, what are they giving to those countries that they are migrating into? It's called resources. Their GPA.
They got something value to add.
Thank you, to add. During Obama regime, if Obama was shot then, it's going to be a Nigerian that would operate his brain. It's true, because we are the best over there. You know, we hear it here and there. There was one beautiful doctor in UK that delivered or split two twins or something in the abdomen. And isn't that a Nigerian? We excel over there. We do fantastically well. So that shows that naturally we are, we are humble people, we are resilient, and we can deliver. But you see, it is our system that has held our youths back. 64%, if they are being encouraged to deliver their potentials, Nigeria will be a hotbed for anybody in the world to come. And it has happened before. When our fathers were growing up, I could remember most of them went on scholarships abroad, and they came back.
Yeah.
By the time they were coming back, they already had a job. They had a 504, they had a Volkswagen, they had Passat waiting for them. So we can see how Nigeria boomed then in those days. But unfortunately, the same people that took, advantage of that system, killed the system. So I think that, look, we have these youths, we have them as potentials. Let us develop them. Let us give them what they want. What do they want? Good education. After education, they want a good job. Fantastic job that will pay money, that will put money in their pocket. And we can afford to do that. They want a good house, and what again? They want to start their family. And looking at all these developed countries, this is what they have done. Encourage your people, let them develop themselves, because not only does it help themselves, it helps the country as a whole. And even right now, even saying that, look, we have not been able to reach our potential, I can see what the boys are doing in fintech. I can see what they are doing in
even if you look at Nigeria's GDP today.
Oh yes, I can see it has added to
technology,
it.
fintech.
Oh yes, I can see it.
Adding a lot of value.
I mean, look at
blockchain.
Yes, even our Nollywood.
Yeah.
Look at what he has given, and these guys did this on their own accord. Now look at if we get to that position to make the position of power to help them out. What do you think is going to happen?
Creating the enabling environment.
Yes, for them to thrive. And I believe that, for instance, let me take you back again to energy that I was saying.
Yeah.
Because I remember that I came once and sold an idea to our president then, Yaradua. But unfortunately, he died before it could materialize. The idea was that, please, let us create a home for everybody in Abuja that will be called a powerhouse and a green home. What is it? This is a home that will give you your electricity, it will give you your cooking gas, and it will give you your water. What else? We already have boreholes anyway.
Yeah.
So how do we incorporate this? We already have solar panels. How do we incorporate this? We already have soakaways that can create biogas for us.
Yeah.
How do we incorporate all this? Everybody can have a green home. Cheap and cheerful. We have the materials. Hardly can we even use cement. Even now, plastic is being used to construct homes in bricks. We have laterite there. A lot of it. So why are we paying 4,000, 5,000 naira for a cement bag? To do what? And at the end of the day, even these cement homes are not, they are not good for our health. At the end of the day, some of us have cancer.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
There's a research on that. So I think that we need a total change of our mentality and mindset. But as you said, to the youth, I see them as the brain behind the next Nigeria.
How are you deploying this energy, the youth energy, in your campaign?
Well, I've been talking to quite a few. I've been making a lot of them understand that, look, we need a change of mentality and mindset. Unfortunately, what I'm still getting at the moment is the issue of money, what is there for us. But you see, I would not stop campaigning for the idea that, look, my people, let us forget this money. Let us look at who can deliver for us, our future. That is what we're talking about. We don't need anybody to just come now, give us money, and in 4 years, he's stolen all our wealth again and gone. Let us do something whereby we ourselves can enjoy what our own fathers and grandfathers enjoyed during the days of Awolowo and Co. It happened before. It can still happen. All what we need are visionary leaders who have the innovative ideas and who can face that challenges straight on and deliver for us. At the end of the day, as I said, we brought nothing into this world and we shall go with nothing. An example now is what is going on. This money policy, by the end of January, you will see how many homes will be stuck with naira that they cannot spend anymore. So what is the point? My people, let us deliver for our people are very important. Yes, and I believe that we can do it. You know, enough is enough of all this playing around and thinking that wealth is it at the end of the day. No, you shall be buried with nothing. Even if you get buried with your casket of money, before the next morning, some people will go and steal it.
Throw the dead body.
And throw the dead body anyway. So what is the point? Yes.
Well, I think you should use this platform and this opportunity as we wrap the program up generally to reach out to the people there, not just members of your party, of course, the people of your senatorial district and the people of Oyo State generally, and of course to Nigeria and even beyond, because we live in a global village now. People are watching, and not just listening; they are watching beyond the shores of Nigeria.
Oh yes, so, true. Thank you very much for that. Well, my people, Oyo South, Oyo State, Nigeria in general, I'll say that, look, we've complained and we've come a long way. I think that it is time for us to rethink. Let us have a change of mentality and mindset. Let us go beyond ethnicity and religion. Let us hold each other hand in hand and look for how we can better our lives. And 2023 is a platform to do that now. We've seen enough. We've had enough. I think that we now need to look forward to parties like us, people like us, who have not, been in the system for a while, who have not been corrupted by the system for a while, who are trying to do fresh things, bringing fresh ideas, a total different vision, and we have the innovative ideas to back it up. So please, I'll say that let us go a step further to deliver ourselves, and it's only us that can do it. Nobody will ever do it for us. It's our home, it's our place. Please let us make it a better place for us and our people. Thank you very much.
I am certain that one day soon, you will be running for the office of governor in Oyo State.
By the special grace of Almighty God. 2027 is the target. May Almighty God make it possible.
Amen. Well. There's a song I really always love to play. That song was done by Sonny Okosun in 1984. That's 38 years.
Correct.
And the lyrics of that song is, which way? Nigeria. Many years after independence, we still find it hard to stand. He did that song 38 years ago, and the lyrics of that song are still as meaningful, even if not more meaningful than they were then.
Correct.
And I cringe. I say to myself, 38 years ago, have we been stagnant, or have we been actually backpedaling?
We've been backpedaling, and that's why we need everybody to wake up. We need the support of everybody, and we need everybody to believe that it is possible for us to be able to do this. Nobody, not any individual is bigger than Nigeria at the moment. Nigeria, its people are bigger than any other person, and I believe that let us make our vote count. 2023, let us hold our PVC and vote with our conscience. That is going to happen this time around. Nobody is going to give 5,000. The votes has to count this time around, because the money won't even be there. So everybody, it has to be your conscience. And I believe that it is possible. We can do it. So that this song you want to play now, 38 years ago, we can start playing new songs in 2027. New songs that how wonderful is thy God, that has moved Nigeria from 2023 to 2027 as a country of glory. It is possible.
It is possible.
Almighty make it so for us.
Amen. Thank you so much, my distinguished brother Lukman Adeola Adetunji. Is a senatorial candidate of the ADC for the Southern Senatorial District of Oyo State. I do wish you from the bottom of my heart, I wish you all the very best when I see people brimming with not just ideas, brimming with enthusiasm and the possibilities. I always look at it and say, well, after all, there is hope for this country. I call it the land of our phobias.
Correct.
Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Solutions 93.9 FM has been the station, and of course, political updates. They show this afternoon. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening to us. Well, tonight Ajishok presenting with Favor Oloruntola producing me. God bless you all. God bless our union. Bye for now.